In this video, we'll discuss what to do if a student brings a weapon to school. For example, this student has, for demonstration purposes, brought a weapon to school. We've entered the behavior code of weapon and drug it to associate it with that student. Notice that it says specify object. That indicates that you must specify what type of weapon. So to do that, click on the plus by incident elements and add the object. The type of object that we want to look for is a weapon. Another box will drop down, and from here you'll select what was the weapon that the child brought to school. Select that, enter any pertinent comments, and add that object. We now need to associate that object with the student's weapon and drag that and drop it onto the student. This being a behavior will not go under another behavior. Instead, it's under the student only. Now we have to specify the action to be taken by the school. In this case, we've got the plus sign. The action, it would be normal to expect that the child would be suspended and that he'd be recommended for expulsion. So you can indicate that by selecting suspension pending expulsion. Add any kind of codes, your dates. You would specify how long this may be, and you can put in dates that correspond to the 10 days. Your assigned duration would also be 10 days. The actual duration will likely be 10 days, but if it's not, it's important that you come back to this record and modify what the actual duration is. Add the action. At this point, we have the action showing in our incident elements. We'll need to drag that action and drop it on top of the behavior. So this child has been suspended pending expulsion. Note too that you cannot leave a student with a suspension pending expulsion. The child either is expelled or is not expelled. This particular action will need to be modified at some point. You have to remove the action, so you'll need to come into this pencil to edit, and at this point you can change it so that the child was suspended for possibly only 8 of these days. We did not, or we did, provide services. Select whatever is appropriate. Change the actual duration to the number of days he actually served and resubmit it. If the student was expelled, you'll need to create an additional action in your incident elements with expulsion as the type of action. It will be with or without services. Complete that. Add in your dates. The child will be expelled for possibly the remainder of the semester or the remainder of the school year, and you would specify which of those is appropriate and submit that incident. Basically, just remember that you cannot leave a child with a pending expulsion. You must indicate if the child was expelled or modify the suspended pending expulsion to indicate that he only served suspension.